Hey Gwenters, and welcome back for another episode of Gone Gwenting. So, we have now officially started the season of Magic, and I want to do a quick glimpse of a match in seasonal mode. It is now, the special ability this seasonal is called Dual Casting. Whenever you play any kind of special card, you actually get to play it twice. I've seen some pretty cool decks. This one is not, in my opinion, the most competitive. I'll be tweaking some others in order to get some more competitive decks. But I've been, if you guys remember from last season, still working on this quest that you can see here. Kindred Spirits trigger bonded abilities 1,000 times. And this is actually really helpful for that, to be able to play that reinforcements card twice. So we're going to be reiterating our Undead Bondage seasonal. And this is also going to trigger death blow abilities with our Kedwenny Revenant. So let's just hit this deck one more time. I've made a few tweaks from what you've seen in the last deck. Most notably, this deck is heavily reliant on special cards, bringing in Triss, Telekinesis, still using Queen Adalia. And then also, I know that I had a request from Lionel Gustafson or Wizard of Light to do King Ragnar. I spent my 800 shards on Ragnar, probably a dumb choice, but we're just going to show you a little bit about how you can use him. He's useful in this seasonal, but I think more useful overall. In my opinion, the best cards to pair with him, Immortals, and we don't have them in this deck because we needed to build in more of these special cards so we can use them for dual wielding, but Kedwenny Cavalry is going to be the other one that works really well here. Notably, if you want, you can excise a few of these, notably like one of the Caravan Guards, so that'll set you back a little bit, and then one of the Forbidden Magics, Rune Words, Mad Charges, and then you can build in Shoop, and Shoop you can play twice, and I'd probably cut out Triss Telekinesis to get Shoop. But all the other cards are pretty fun here. You could also clip out Surrender, but I find Surrender to be really effective against certain decks. So that's what we've got. We're also working Vindhelm here, but I think my favorite card combo that you can work in for pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure they're both epics, yeah, is Sabrina Glevessig and Sabrina's Inferno. And these are going to be a total riot in the game. And let's just get into it. So one of the best parts, in my opinion, about seasonals is they are just, they're low risk, high reward, right? So you basically, these are casual matches, they're not going to affect your ranking, and if you feel like it's totally going against you from round one, you can just quit out. I think some of the more competitive decks I've seen, if you wanted to start down a different path and you're anxious for that, I haven't had time to quite make those videos yet. My air conditioning's been out, I'm finally getting it fixed. Nilfgaard is probably one of the better decks for this. I think especially the Assimilate deck, or if you've seen my Hefty Tactics video, that one works. Those both work exceptionally well. So right here we've got Kedwenny Cavalry, and we've also got Ragnar. Notably, Ragnar is not a knight. He's just human. I guess because he's a king, he's not a knight. A little bit annoying there. And I'd like to have a knight to pair with Tridom, but we can take that away. We only can use one of these shields, really, so I'll take that away. Oh, and Royal Decree is amazing because you get to play 2 cards. The Lock might come in use, so we'll keep that. Alright, we're up first. I would have liked to have had my Immortals. I could play Tactics to play 2 units, but I'd rather save that for later on, especially grab a Dahlia when I have some of those Caravan Guards in hand. Alright, let's throw down Kedwenny Cavalry. Oh, what was I thinking? He's a knight? I'm a little bit tired today. So had we kept that Mad Charge, we could have put another Vitality on Tridom Infantry, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. But we're gonna throw down Tridom Infantry. We'll probably use Tactical Advantage on him to keep him alive, and then put Rune Word on him. That way he can get a shield. And then we'll strip it off with Ragnar. So Ragnar basically is just going to remove shields from all units, not just your own, but all units. And then he's going to boost himself by 3 for every shield. He gets a lot of flack, I think, mostly because people try to overplay him, right? He's an 8 provision cost card, and people try to play him for like 25 points. just shoot to play him for 10 points, right? So strip 2 shields. And basically, if you can do it against Kidwani Cavalry, all the better.
Impressive.
Yeah. Okay, so he has Enslave. He is not full up on Tactics. If you guys have seen my hefty Tactics deck, he only has 5 power here. So that bodes well for us. We're going to throw down Trident. We're going to boost him. He can steal our Kidwani Cavalry if he wants to. I'm fine with him wasting his leader charge in first round. But if not, he's going to get boosted to 6 here shortly, so. Oh, pardon me. We've also got these Dimeridium Shackles, but if he's throwing down Helga this early, I'm thinking that he feels a little overconfident in his position. So also, basically, Forbidden Magic is getting played twice, so instead of needing to get a death blow on a 2, you can play it against a 4, damage it by 2, and then damage it by 2 again to spawn that Kidwani Revenant. So that can work actually really well for us as well. So Assassination is going to get played twice as we take out this Trident Infantry. Which is not the worst thing in the world. You can then do 6 damage with this Hefty Helga. But as he just found out, that's not going to be able to kill my units, so maybe not his best move. Alright, we'll go Forbidden Magic here. Just, you know, we don't have to, but it's fun, so why not do it? You get the Kidwani Revenant. I think I did that mostly because Dimeridium Shackles would have been wasted. Because it would have played twice and we could have blocked the unit, and we just didn't need to do that, right? So here we can play Rune Word back onto Kidwani Cavalry. They're going to get the Vitality. That'll stay there even after Ragnar plays. And if not, it's not going to be the worst thing to keep Ragnar. So he plays really well with Kidwani Cavalry because they get boosted whenever they lose their shield, and he pulls that shield off and boosts them. But Immortals get that shield back again at the end of turn. So they get boosted by 2, and then Ragnar gets boosted by 3, and then they get their shield back at the end of the turn. So it's kind of like, keep it coming. So I had built this deck as mobilization before so that you could pull your additional Caravan Guard out of your deck. You get an additional 3 provision points from that, but I love this pincer maneuver. If you guys have seen my all-out charge card, you know I love to do that, so it's kind of where I came from with that. But here we get Rune Word. Again, you get it twice, so we're going to pop this on both of our units. Just going to let that Vitality boost us up for a few turns. And then we'll play Ragnar, strip those shields off, boost him by 6 points, and then also boost Kidwani Cavalry by 2. So he'll play for 4, plus 6, plus 2, he'll play for 12 points. Which is a great play. Oh, and we have gotten him to use his Enslave a little bit early, which I'm happy with. Feel free to do that. The only thing we have to be worried about is him playing Damien Delator. Just make sure he doesn't refresh that leader ability. Otherwise, I'm fine with this overplay. Like, go for it. I think you can see that we're trying to play Ragnar here. Ragnar's still going to play for all of those points. He's just -2, but that nets out +1 point for us. So instead of 12, he's going to play for 13. But he's going to get that other point here. So I'll just show you how he works. Well, you know the other option is actually you can prevent that shield boost. I'd rather save it. Let's just do this. So there we go. We pull it down. It goes to 13 points. And then his guys get boosted, but I don't care about that, to be honest with you. And I think we're just going to let this round go. I don't like that we're going to be tied in card count, but he's kind of got us on the ropes a bit in terms of, you know, he's got Glynis working, he's got Arturius working, and we've kind of caught him halfway through his round play, so I don't mind kind of ruining his engines just to get us back on our feet again. Like I said, this isn't the most competitive deck. I think it just doesn't have enough units to absorb stuff with, so not the greatest for those reasons. Alright, so Triss Telekinesis is going to let you play a card twice, so it's pretty awesome. I'd rather have Surrender than Stalford's Tremors. I definitely don't care about Rune Word. Okay, well, we can get down Immortal Cavalry at least. They also play well with Ragnar because they spawn a base copy. They each have shields, so that's another 6 points for Ragnar if you choose to use them. Alternatively, they also play well with Drog, right? So basically the idea here with Sabrina Galessig, she's a 1-point character. She's going to damage all units on the row by 2. And then Sabrina's Inferno is going to damage each... Oh, let's get the Mata Hari description on. Sabrina's Inferno is going to damage each non-Spectre unit by 1. If any were destroyed, repeat this ability once. And since we play it twice, we want one of his units to be at 1 health point and one of his units to be at 3 health points. And we can use Sabrina to get the 1. So we can play Sabrina using pincer maneuver, and then we can play Sabrina's Inferno in the same round, and it will do 4 damage to all of his units. And if we use Drog to flip all of our humans into Spectres, it's not going to damage us at all. So pretty rockin' way to play that. Triss is also a human, by the way, so she can also get flipped into an Undead, into a Kedweni Revenant as well. Alright, I'm guessing he's going to go for Delator. So our question is, what do we want to do? I'd like to save Drog for final round, I think. It'd be alright to get a Knight, though. And basically, if we play Royal Decree, we can pull out both of our Caravan Vanguards. Let's just do it. I think he's going to go hard, so it's no reason for us not to.
From white sands to snows. Stay true to
We'll
our
go for
way
Drog next turn and
always.
then do the wipe the turn after that. And we can use the Revenants to whittle a unit down to only 3 health too.
I'll defend the Duquesa to my dying breath.
Yeah, unfortunately Surrender could get 4 damage on Delator, but that's it. Although we could play Glovesig and then wipe him out. But I'm candidly not that worried about it. Like, if he wants to steal one of our Revenants, go for it. I think most people don't see this play that we're about to make, so it's probably gonna catch up. And then while we're at it, we can actually pull out one of our other units. Immortals go well with basically any time, but Vindholm is just going to be good passive points. But I actually like Reinforcements. It's going to let us pull out 2 more Kedweni Revenants we can spawn to the other row. Alright, so his first unit he decides to pull is Trident. Too bad we can't get around to get him knocked down to 3 points. Although he's going to die this turn unless he gets boosted. Great for him if he tries to steal anything. I think he might have just wanted to refresh that leader ability. Nope. Alright. So it is not going to damage this Kedwani Revenant, so we need to get Matahuri damage down to 3. Then we'll go pincer maneuver. This is more fun when they have like a ton of cards on the board. And I think here we'll pull this reinforcements like I described. I don't know that we're actually going to end up using it. He may just give up after this. And then we're just going to play the Sabrina's Inferno. So just watch how this plays. You go boom, boom, hits everybody. They're all down. She kills everyone on that row. Then we go boom, boom, all over again. So now we just got to get around to this Kedwani Cavalry, but I'm fine with where we are. Now we can use Triss to armor our own guys up, whatever we want to do. Unfortunate thing about Fionn is he's just hard to get around. Feel free to add in a Purify to this deck as well. I think you could replace... you could probably take out Vindholm, honestly. He's kind of mediocre with this deck. It kind of sucks for him. He's probably going to take out this Revenant here. I don't think we have any other bronze units except for Sentry and Artificer, so our reinforcements definitely is going to play best this round. So it's going to spawn that on a random row too, which is kind of unfortunate for him. So I think what we are going to do spawn these just because this is just going to be a wasted card in our hand. I don't know that this is necessarily like the most intelligent of plays by any stretch of the imagination, and I do not want to damage one of these guys down. Well, I guess I could do this Kedwani Revenant down to 1. But I don't want to damage this one down because then he can kill his own unit to spawn an extra Kedwani Revenant, right? So taking out that cavalry actually might be a good idea for him just to keep the Revenants going. Right, he's going to play this twice, kill both of these guys. It's unfortunate, but fine. And I've made some tweaks to my Knights of Legend deck. I'll show you guys, but just note that if you've seen the very original deck, which I did not love because of kind of the difficulty of getting Drog to play for the most points, Drog is a knight, so we can actually play some of these mad charge cards and such. I'm holding off on playing Triss. Some of you might be like, "Why? Well, just play Triss, get her out there." I'm not doing that right now for the sole fact that she is a unit that plays her points next round. And if you've seen what we have, we only have 4 units to pull from with a bunch of spells. So we just need to keep her in our hand. And we're just going to lock him down here. It does 3 damage, so he's going to get wiped off anyway. Easy peasy. Now he gets to decide if he wants to go in the next round with the same number of cards. If not, we'll probably play Mad Charge just to get the boost and the vitality because of the drug. So, and it's going to boost each of them for 3, so this is going to play for 6 points and give us 2 armor on each of them. So really not so bad for us. See, and this is also, to my point of shutting down his engines first round, note that he has none of those assimilate cards, right, where he gets boosted for every time he gets rid of a card. Sorry, for every time he plays a card that wasn't in his original deck.
Like falling stars. Long live the king!
I like to keep Surrender, and I need to keep Triss. Surrender would just be dumb play. I mean, on the front row, it's going to net out to 0. The back row will kill his Redanian Archer, so it would play for 5 points back here, but then it's going to play for none in the front row. So I like to be able to avoid playing that if possible. But I mean, look, if we're drawing 3 cards, the odds of us getting all 3 spells next round is not that high. If we got a Dahlia, we need to get Sentry and Artificer because she is useless otherwise, because she only plays those bronze cards. So, just not in the greatest of positions as far as that other stuff goes. Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to play Triss here. We need to shut down Skellen. We can't let him keep Skellen. So we're just gonna pray for a lock. If not, some kind of damage card. And we get the lock. Works great for me. And we'll also shut down that archer as well. So not so bad for us. Also, and of note here, doing Season of Magic, have this this achievement right here, win 15 rounds in seasonal matches. So if you are wanting to try out seasonal, make sure that you're progressing on. I like the Stregobor tree. I just like the really fancy card backs. You guys know I'm a sucker for those, even though I'm not using it with this deck. You can just see it's the regular Northern Realms. But I really like the seasonal card backs. So hoping to be able to use that. All right, so he's matched me on card count. I couldn't let him keep Skellen. I couldn't pass with 2 cards. He would have taken the victory. If you are playing that deck, note that you want to play a card that plays twice in 1 round, and then use Skellen the next round to replay that card. Or use Skellen to replay the last tactic you played earlier, because you only play the same card twice once. I know that seems complicated, but that's the fact, right? So you can only play a spell twice, once per turn. So you don't want to use him right after you've used your awesome card, because then you'll only end up being able to play it 3 times when you could have played it 4 had you just been able to wait 1 more turn. All right, I don't love Stammelford Tremors. I'd rather have Surrender, and Rune Ward and Mad Charge are okay, but not the greatest. I mean, Vindholm is a knight, but I'm fine. I'd rather get out Immortals first anyway, just to see if I can pull out the lock on them, because they only play for 2 points when they lose their shield, and we don't have a way of pulling that off ourselves other than with Surrender, which we could use, but we're just going to keep that in tow, see what he plays. And we'll get out Vindholm next turn so we can play Sentry and Artificer to get the shield back up, so he's going to get at least 7 points so long as they don't kill him off. So Bribery plays really well in this. You gotta play 2 cards from your opponent's deck, so you can actually get synergy there. Unfortunate for him, he played Drog first, because then he doesn't get to steal anything, but Drog still plays for 7 points straight up. So see what else he gets, and he gets Triss. So he's probably gonna want to go for a boost, or if he's lucky enough to pull a lock, he'll probably try to throw down a lock. The lock applies before the boost occurs, but he goes for Imperial Diplomacy instead. And this is actually lining up pretty well for Surrender, right? Remember, this is going to remove 2 armor and then damage all units by 2. So he's going to boost up his own units here. We're going to remove that armor and then damage him by 2. So that's not the worst for us. But we want these passive points from Vindholm.
We shall never surrender.
As he takes just a little bit of a lead. And then we can actually play the Sentry and Artificer to the back row. He's not going to be able to use his shield ability immediately, but he can use it over time. Alright, and he goes for Yennefer's Invocation, which sucks. So basically what that does is that puts both of those cards on top of his deck. It's kind of broken in this mode, in my opinion. Just because you need to be so reliant on shields, spells to get cards out. So we pretty much lost this. Like I said, not the most competitive deck in the world. It's better if you do that play we did last turn all at once. And then Tourney Joust is just... Nilfgaard just has too many great spells for this. I feel like every time they make seasonals, they make them with... Either they forgot that Nilfgaard was a faction, or the developers are like, hee, we love Nilfgaard and don't want to tell anybody. Interestingly here though, Surrender's actually going to remove the armor and then do the damage, because the removing armor was not damage in and of itself. So even though he had a shield, it removed the 2 armor and then cut off that shield. So anyway, that's how it plays. Again, I just love how Sabrina's Inferno plays. It's a total riot. Oh, this is hilarious. He should have just passed, but maybe he's just toying with us. I didn't realize that Assassination could kill a unit on your own side. I guess you could use that actually to kill the spawned poison cow. But just something to keep in mind. Anyway, fun times. I mean, you saw how that Assimilate deck. His was not my favorite one I've ever seen. Maybe I'll just make a follow-up video right here so you guys can see how tactics deck just can wreak havoc on them. So, oh, looks like we got a keg that I'm accidentally opening. But I think the biggest thing just to think about as you're playing through the seasonal is think of some fun combos, try them out. I'm just going to show you one quick thing to think about in Deck Builder. Remember, you can have up to 12 spells or special cards, so use them. Use those 12 spells, right? So we're going to come down here. I might actually make a tweak to this. So let's duplicate this and call it our Tactics Seasonal. So you can look through, and what I do is I go to filters, and then I go to card type, put in special, make sure you have all the best specials you can use, right? So for us in this deck, we definitely want tactic, and we want all these tactics. I think I'm actually going to put Garrison back in here, because if I play this twice in one round and then you step into play it the next round, that's a 40-point play out of this Garrison, which is just kind of broken good. But yeah, that's just some food for thought. Make sure you guys try this out. Get in there, try out the seasonal, have some fun. Post comments down below if you find a new card combo you want me to check out. If there's a new card you'd like me to try out, please let me know. You know, I'm pretty much a free-to-play player. I bought the premium for $10, but that's it. So it might take me a little bit of time to earn the card, but just as Wizard of Light saw, you know, I'll get that Ragnar. I'll try it out. I'll let you guys see how some good game work goes for it. Last comment on using Ragnar: don't build your deck around him. Shield units have some very basic synergy. I mean, there's basically a couple of cards you can use. You can use Ragnar, and you can use the Damned Sorceress. And oh, whoops, we gotta reset our filters here. She gets 2 points for removing a shield, so she can work really well with those Kedwani Cavalry as well. Just something to keep in mind. These Immortal Cavalry are Northern Realms. Attorney Joust is just Nilfgaard, so you can't even use that. You can use Watchman to give an adjacent unit a shield. It's just an order, so you can only use it once and it can get locked. Rune Word is going to give a shield. Cintran Artificer is going to give a shield. Then you can use Sangreal to boost unit by 6 and give them a shield. I don't have that card. I don't anticipate getting it anytime soon, though it would be pretty decent in this seasonal, but probably no other time. And then Tesha Mutna, actually, sword, you can actually just use it to destroy a unit with a shield. Lady of the Lake is also going to have a shield, and then with an order to give a unit a shield. She's legendary, so I don't love that card, but she does play really well. If you've seen my Knights of Legend deck, she plays really well with the dueling cards, Anseus and Selkirk. You give them a shield, and they can basically kill a unit that is more than twice their power, right? Like, say he's at 5 and he's dueling a unit with 12. Well, he's going to do 5 damage. They're going to go down to 7, damage him, do nothing. He's going to damage him by 5 again. They'll go down to 2, do 2 damage back to him. He'll be at 3. He'll kill him off, right? So you can just kill crazy outside powered units using shield. And if you guys have not seen it, please check out my Knights of Legend video. That deck is a total riot. I had been playing All Out Charge to move up ladder and get into pro rank again this season, and just fell back in love with this Knights deck. I'm gonna make one more video here real quick just to show you guys how Knights of Legend is working right now. But in the meantime, get out there, have fun, go Gwenting, and keep me informed.